This right here is the Huawei Mate XT. I spent over $5,000 to get one. It's the world's first triple folding phone. The thing is kind of mind-blowing. But as I've started to dig deeper, I've realized there is also something sinister going on with it. So this is how the thing comes presented. iPhone box for size reference, lol. There's no doubt about it, this is absolutely incredible. So, right on top, here are the Huawei FreeBuds 5. I gave these things a 7 out of 10 when I tested all the banned Huawei products. Got a car charger, 88 watts. Blimmin' heck, that's generous. But then, I suppose equally at the same time, this is the kind of experience that you would expect. Anyone who's willing to pay thousands of dollars for a first-generation product is a true fan, and Huawei needs to make sure that those fans are looked after. So in here, we got tips for the earphones, a bunch of papers, and then a carbon fiber case. Okay, we'll come back to this. What's in here? Oh, what? So you got the mains charger, which is only 66 watts. How do you have a mains charger with less power than the car charger? And then not one, but two cables, a USB-C to USB-C, and then a USB-C to USB-A. Now, before the whole, we didn't even need one fold, why on earth would we need two folds army comes to get me? Hear me out, because there is something I think is absolutely amazing about this. Ever since the very first foldable phones, we have had a problem. I think it's fair to say that most people are interested in the idea of a phone that could become a tablet at the snap of their fingers, a massive screen to watch movies or play your games on. But the reason that very few people follow through and actually buy these folding phones, like the ones from Samsung, is price aside, if you want to make it usable while it's folded, it's got to be tall, like a phone. But then that means that when you open it, it's got to be square. And because videos and games are all designed to be widescreen, it barely makes your experience bigger than just using a normal phone. And so the only thing left for foldables is to be better at crazy multitasking. But that's niche. And just be honest, most people who could afford one of these already have a laptop or a proper tablet for that anyway. But that is where this Huawei comes in. So you open once from here, and yeah, in this form it is basically the same as a normal foldable, aka pretty useless for most types of content. But look what happens when we open one more time. The extra width from this one extra fold is an absolute game changer. I mean, like, this is an iPad. It's widely considered one of the best devices for catching up with your movies on an airplane. But now we have a phone that gives you practically the same viewable screen area when watching content, except this one folds into something resembling this. What year are we living in? And what Huawei has done to achieve this is actually just as cool. So this is Samsung's Z Fold 5, and when folded, it is 13.4mm thick. Samsung's very latest is 12.1mm. Huawei's triple folding phone is just 12.8. They've crammed in a whole extra layer. This is like 2D versus 3D, while barely making the phone thicker at all. And what that means is when the thing is unfolded, this is 3.6mm thick. Obviously, it is easier to make things thinner when you have more space this way, but 3.6? I did a video a few years ago on the thinnest smartphone in the world, and that was 4.75, and the current iPhone is 8.3 for reference. It genuinely feels like some sort of sci-fi movie prop, and I can't quite believe this is a final product. You know where it really hits home just how slim this is when you realize that every single port, button, and cutout looks like it barely fits on the device. Not to mention that you can really tell they've put some love into this design. Like, can you see this gold accent ring around the camera? Well, that is apparently hand-designed with almost 80 layers of stacked steel. Very much like, actually, those highly prized Damascus knives. And what it means is that every single phone looks just a little bit different, and that's cool. So, is this what foldable phones should have been like all along? Is this what Samsung should be making starting from next year? Well, it certainly looks that way on first glance. Because let's say that I'm using a normal bifold folding phone. I could use it in one hand like this, I could use it in two hands like this, or I could use it on a table in its half-folded state. But what can you do on this? Well, for starters, you've got the normal phone mode. You got the screen on the front, you got the camera on the back. This is effectively the same as using a normal folded phone, folded up. So then you open it up. And again, functionally at this point, we are still identical with what you get with a normal folding phone. And also, like a normal folding phone, you can use the screen that's currently facing the back to allow the person you're shooting to see themselves, and also to allow you to take high quality selfies using your phone's rear set of cameras. Damn, that looks good. But then you get the third screen involved, and this is where you can start to do some very interesting stuff. Like you can use two screens to watch what you're doing while using the third screen to angle your camera. You could actually have two screens to work on and then use the bottom screen folded up like